stupid picture in the kick chat. Oh,
You know how that goes. All right, brother, we're live now.
all right. All right. So, hello everyone. How's everyone doing?
Yeah.
What's good? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yeah. So, yeah, we have a great cast of people who will be speaking on our topic today, which is one gotta go. So, over the past month, we've been talking about a lot of different topics. Most of them have been pretty serious, and we decided to change up and talk about something that's a bit more lighthearted. It's still going to touch on some major things in our community that affect Black people, and also this country as a whole. But we decided there needs to be a more creative way to kind of present these topics. So we came up with the idea of the One Gotta Go tournament. And the way this tournament goes is we have 16 people, and I'm going to share some of the people right now for our tournament. And basically, we have 16 different people, and then we have to choose. Basically, they're broken up into groups of 4. 1 second as I share. Does everyone see what I'm sharing? Does it? Let me know if you see what I'm sharing.
I don't see anything.
You don't see it?
I
Okay.
don't see it yet.
All right. 1 second. Well, I guess I'll just have to share the entire screen. But anyways, so can you guys see what I'm sharing now?
And now there we go.
Stop sharing. It's still not showing it?
No, it's showing.
It's showing it.
And you see, okay, so you see the tournament now, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So as I was saying, we're gonna have a One Gotta Go tournament. I believe our rules are a little bit different. So this is how it's gonna go. As you can see, on the bottom, basically on the bottom of this image, you see a grouping of 4 people, 4 different groups of people, and basically with that, we're gonna have a group of 4 people, and we're gonna try to choose. We're gonna basically debate about which person is the most deplorable person of that group. And as you can see, we have Terry Crews in the first group, Wendy Williams, Stacey Dash, and Lil Wayne. This is who we're going to be debating about today. But then, as you can see, over the next groups, we'll be debating about that in the coming weeks. For round 2, we also have Black China, we have Brandon Tatum, and we also have Mona Scott Young, and then we have Sheriff David Clark. The third round, we have Jesse Lee Peterson, we got Tommy Sotomayor, Charles Barkley, and the Hotel Umar Johnson. And then in the last round, we have Diamond and Silk, Candace Owens, the Hodge Twins, and Doja Cat. So we picked these individuals because we felt like they've basically in their career they've done things that have kind of misrepresented themselves and also misrepresented Black people as a whole. So, all right, let's get to it. Round 1. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to share. I'm also going to share the round 1 competitors. And so basically, out of those groupings of people, whoever is the worst person, they actually move up to the next round. So
Facts.
for this first round, we're gonna choose the worst person. They move up to the next round, and then after that, we go to the next round. Choose the worst person, continue on until all the rounds are done. And then we're gonna have a final round where you choose who is the absolute worst individual out of all of these deplorable people.
I love it.
Let's do it. I love it because these folks gotta go. I'm tired of them. Tired. You feel me? TIDE. Tired of all.
Okay, you see the people now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'll say with Terry Crews, I would say with him, his career is not really defined by being disrespectful or misrepresenting black people. Although I will say that one issue that I found with him is pretty recently was when um, I believe he wouldn't name the individual that molested him. Um, a couple. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he didn't name the individual that basically tried to grope him twice. He didn't. He didn't. It just seemed like he wasn't very forthright or very outgoing with trying to seek justice for what
No,
happened to
but he
him.
did
It's
though.
something that's, huh?
He did name him, and he sued him in court. So
Mm,
he wasn't being secretive about it.
okay.
I
All right.
think it didn't just get that much spotlight as just him being groped.
I see. Okay. I guess I would have to. I guess I have to blame my lack of research on that and the media not for not making that a big making enough coverage for that event. And also another thing, it seems like there's something weird that has been going on. Like, so everyone's aware of the protests that have been going on during the summer over George Floyd and just Black Lives Matter in general. Um,
Yeah.
One thing interesting Terry Crews said was that he doesn't want us to become black supremacists, or he doesn't want Black Lives Matter to support black supremacy. And I just think that's pretty interesting that he says that. I don't know. That seems kind of weird. What do you guys think of that?
I don't think he understands what supremacy means in America. I read up on it, and from his point of view, it was more so of being self-righteous, a spiritual type of supreme, not as in fact of holding a financial power over white people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the thing with Terry's, he's been on some really weird trip lately, man. It's like the reason why I have an issue with him is not even the whole groping issue is him, like the way he argues, the way he says things. It's all about getting more wide acceptance more than anything else. You feel me? And I'm just not with that. You feel me? Like everything he's saying is like is basically one of those folks who want to be as moderate and as
Accept it.
accepting to basically the dominant society as possible, as much as possible. You feel me? Just like as he's saying that he doesn't want us to fall into black supremacy, or saying we should shut down Magic City. Nigga, I don't want to shut down Magic City. I want to go to the strip club and throw dollars at nice looking black women with nice booties. You feel me? I want to do that. All right, chill out, Terry. Relax. You feel me? You don't have to do all of that. You ain't gotta
So
do all
do you feel like he's trying to appeal to the masses more so than just try to, like, instead of being ourselves, you think, or just doing what we want to do, just as everyone else is doing? It's like he wants us to be like morally, like always take the moral high ground and just be morally superior to other people, or like he wants us to kind of create this, I guess, a pretentious society of black people. Is that
I don't think he
Like he
wants
wants to be palatable to. I think he wants to be more palatable to white folks. You know what I'm saying? But basically,
I don't think he wants that. He grew up in a very conservative Christian home. That never leaves you when you're raised that way. When you're a child, how you're molded, that sticks with you, good and bad things. It takes a lot of people years to heal if they, had trauma when they were young. So him being raised like that, I think that's why he's like that. He's very conservative. With him, I didn't even hear about him wanting to shut down Magic City and things like that, because he used to be addicted to porn. So he, in his book, he wrote about that he was started to get addicted to porn when he was 12 years old, and it almost destroyed his marriage. So that's why he feels that way about that, not trying to shut down, just because, black men shouldn't be doing that for him. That's why he's saying it. For him thinking that he said like black gatekeepers, like who should be black and things like that. But I think he's heavily influenced by his wife. She's biracial.
Right.
and she's very, very great. I thought it was a white woman when I saw her. So
Mhm.
I think he's influenced by that and by his children. So he's trying to make it a safer world for them to be accepted, more accepted into the black community. Because I'm sure
Oh.
that he's heard you don't even have a black wife. Why are you talking on things?
Question. So he has a biracial wife, and she's very light skinned. One thing. How are his kids also very light skinned?
I haven't seen his children, but I can't remember, but they don't look like him. None of them have his skin tone.
Okay.
Yeah, he
So
has a deep chocolate skin tone. I think more his kids are mostly like mostly caramel really.
caramel.
Yes.
He's
Okay.
like really deep chocolate. Yeah.
So I'm wondering. I mean, are they? Based on what I'm getting at, are they at the skin tone where someone would be like, "Oh, you're not black enough"? Are they like that, or they're just regular looking caramel skin?
Nah, they black folks. You could tell they black
Okay.
folks.
Okay. Because I was thinking maybe he wants to make a better world for them because they possibly they could be harassed for not being, considered black enough or something like that. Because we do know, colorism. I feel like colorism does. I don't want to get too heavily into this, but I know colorism kind of goes both ways. Like, it's against dark skinned people as well as people are really light. A lot of times sometimes they may have to overcompensate for how black they are so that people won't question their blackness. And I was wondering
I've
if his
seen
kids
that
would have
before
to
as
deal with
well.
that.
Yeah,
So
they're brown. They look like they may be, Mexican or something like that.
oh
But it's
no.
like his wife looks like a white woman. So that
Okay.
he's dark. So his children look, they have the Mexican skin tone. I mean, it is what it is. You guys know what I'm talking about.
So as
Oh man.
far as Terry Crews is concerned, he has the same problem I feel like Kanye West has. Another person who is one of the brackets, I believe, where the things that are in his mind are probably brilliant and make sense, but he has a poor way of communicating it. And I say that because I do understand where he tries to go with some of the things that he says. Because in many scenarios, I kind of feel the same way, if not the exact same way. But the way he puts it out, it's completely off. Like when you say, you don't want to create black supremacy, I understand what he means when he says that. But the way he said it was just completely just wrong. Like when you say black supremacy, we want Black Lives to matter. That's it. That's where it starts. We don't want it to be all. Let me phrase that. We want Black Lives to matter, not be superior, not be more than whatever. No unfair advantage. We just want an equal playing field. Whatever happens after that point, fine. But much in the way that I guess when you and I feel like social media may influence some of these things, including his wife or maybe even other brothers around him. Because last time I checked, I think he's from Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah, he's
what
from
I
Michigan.
Mhm.
what I get from that when you say you don't want to create black superiority, because right now the mood is if you were to venture online to other places that if you ain't like down with like the cause, then it's either our side or you're on that side. And that attitude to a degree echoes the sentiment of our white counterparts as is, because it's like if you ain't white, you over there. So when you hear people who are upset, maybe he's speaking to those people who might be taking it overboard. It's like, okay, we want Black Lives to matter, but then you got some people who are like extremists. They hate to use that word, but like, it's like, okay, if it ain't black, we ain't fucking with it. Like, because, and I think that's where he's going with it. But the way he's communicating it is just very, very poor.
Also the
And
context. Yeah, I
and
feel like the
and, and the,
context of when you say it is also important. The timing.
like the timing is horrible. The timing is horrible, no doubt. And the context is not where it should be because he has a very poor way of communicating those thoughts. But I get what he means in terms of something like that, because you don't want it to be what's like, okay, like when you think about us wanting to have our own, black this, black that, we want to, uplift our people and get somewhere as a whole.
But
But
he doesn't
if
want
any
that.
Mhm.
and that's the other part of the problem, because when you're not even sounding as though you're riding on the side of your own people, when you say anything else past that, now we got to go back to what you said in the beginning. It's like, okay, you look like you're cooling right now, my nigga, like, and this isn't gonna rock. So you're saying let's not do this, let's shut down that. You have this problems and you see this issue for black people, but in the same breath, you know, give praise to the same people who are like, I don't want to say praise, that's the strong word to use, but give validation to the shit that's happening to us.
No,
You're wrong for that.
That's not his mindset. His mindset is he wants everybody to join together. That's why I said so it just can't be black supremacy.
I get that.
We need white people and everything like that. Like we know that, but at the moment we're at the bottom. And he cares about himself and his own and his money. Because even when he came out and said, I've been touched and I have my balls groped and everything like that, she was one of the first and amongst many black women to come up and be like, I believe him. Let's support him. Let's do all this stuff. And when she said America's Got Talent has a culture of toxicity and racism and all this other stuff, and he just came out and he was like, well, I have never experienced that in my life while I was there.
He ain't keep the same energy.
He didn't even say like, oh, we should support her. Let's listen to her story. That's my sister. She supported me when I came out with my story of sexual assault. So I want to be there for her and I want to talk to her about it. Like, no, he came out and threw her under the train, the bus, the plane, everything.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and then he backtracked later. Like I think that's really one of the big problems with Terry Crews, man. He's a fence sitter. You feel me? He'll say one thing and he'll be like, "Oh, okay." He'll try to explain himself out of it, and he'll be like, "Oh, okay, that was a bad example." But what about this, that, and the third? But okay, that's a bad example. You feel me? He does that.
He's not firm in his beliefs.
Yeah, and he's just trying to fix it. Like he said that with his chest. He said that with all that was within him. So that's what he meant. I hate people who backtrack.
Man, it's like I understand if you make a mistake, but there's only so many times you're gonna be making the same mistake, my nigga. Like don't say something and backtrack, then say something else and backtrack. Come on, man. Like there's only so many times you make mistakes.
Because they're not mistakes. He meant it. He meant what he said.
Exactly. If you meant what you say it with your chest, nigga. Like, come on, man. We respect you more if you admit that your mind changed over time as you got more information. I would respect that more than you just backtracking a day later. You feel me? You didn't become informed in a day. You always had that opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ridiculous. But I don't think Terry Crews is as egregious as the other people on this post.
Yeah, I don't think so. He has poor timing with what he says, and he's just not very firm in his beliefs.
No, I don't think he cares about black women. I don't think he cares about black women at all. When they were still talking about Gabrielle Union and why he would say that, he was like, he said he doesn't have to please anyone but his wife, not his children. You don't have to please his children, his mother, his sister, or anybody like that. He will let their husbands and everybody else take care of them. But his wife is the only one that he needs to please.
I mean,
true. That was so disrespectful. It was so disrespectful.
Is it though?
It is disrespectful. Like he's saying that he wouldn't even defend his mother's honor.
Oh yeah, that's
or his weird. Daughters. He would let if they had husbands and boyfriends and stuff like that, he let them deal with it.
Wait, I don't know the context. What happened with Gabrielle Union?
Is his wife, and that's so disrespectful.
I just don't really know the context of this. What happened with Gabrielle Union?
Well, she was fired from America's Got Talent for being too difficult to work with, because she came out and said that it was a toxic environment, that it was they talked about her hair. Her hair was like, they didn't say too black, but how they use those nice words to say your hair is too black for this, your hair is too black for that. So that's what they were saying to her. And she came out, I think it was in a Vogue.
So he didn't stand in solidarity with her, basically.
Right. After she had stood up for him when he was sexually assaulted, and everybody was trashing him, and so many black women came out and defended his name.
That's bad.
And then for him to come out and say the only person I gotta please is my wife, not my daughter, my mother, nobody, none of them.
He has no loyalty then. Okay, well, I would say his major thing is, he has no loyalty then, and he has no integrity. Because if black women come out to defend you, and then to turn around and say you don't want to defend black women when they're having issues that they're encountering in the workforce and whatnot, then that definitely reflects pretty bad on her. That means he has literally no integrity or and whatnot. So that's a thing against him. But I guess we pretty much covered everything on Terry Crews. Yeah,
Oh,
we
I think
grilled him a
Riley
little
wants to
bit.
say something on Terry Crews as well. What y'all want to say, Riley?
I was gonna say that I feel like Terry Crews is just trying to downplay Black people are going through. That's why he's saying that we don't need Black supremacy. I remember also seeing like this one tweet Terry Crews made. He was like, you're not Black and successful if no one calls you a coon on Twitter.
See, that's so goofy, bro. That's not.
It's true though.
That nigga's so goofy, bro. Like, come
No,
on,
it's true
man.
though. It's true.
I mean, listen. I could give him.
It's true in a funny way. I remember him saying that. That's true enough. Really.
But the thing is, man, there's plenty of Black successful people on Twitter who don't get called coons.
Yeah,
It's like people don't get
ever
people.
called Denzel Washington a coon.
Huh?
Exactly, like
What?
coons only get.
Someone called him that?
No, I said no one's called Denzel Washington a coon.
Oh.
He's Black and successful.
I was
No
about to
one's
say. I was
called
like, wow.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's like you can be Black and you could be a successful. That's fine. Like coon, people get called coons for things that they say and their actions, the way that they move. You feel me?
Yeah, like
and
coons.
it's mostly based on things that are around things that you say. If you go around saying, Black males are the white males of Black people and all
Yeah.
this other shit, then you're
I
gonna be called
honestly
like,
should have put Jamel Hill on here, but I don't know. I didn't have space. Maybe we could do that at some other point.
yeah. But it's like if you go around saying some goofy shit and you're going against the entire Black movement, like some other people we're gonna talk about later on another episode. I definitely want to get into those. You feel me? Then you're gonna get called a coon. But if you're successful and you're just a Black person, you just living your life, you're not gonna get called a coon for that. You feel me? Him, he just be on some goofy shit, man. Like he be, just like we explained already. Like,
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. Let's move on to Stacey Dash. Actually, Stacey Dash. She's honestly said a lot of crazy things in her career. I could honestly, I'm gonna just kind of I'm gonna name one thing she actually said recently, and she said that she was talking about Black History Month, the NAACP Image Awards, and basically also the BET channel. She's saying that we should get rid of those. We should get rid of those programs and those awards because, like, at some point we have to get past segregation and basically try to promote integration. Like she says that those programs are kind of old and they're archaic and basically kind of racist. And if we're going to move on as a country, we need to get rid of BET, NAACP, and Image Awards and Black History Month. What do y'all think of that?
No.
I agree with her in a way. Okay, go ahead, Riley.
Well, I guess with BET, that like kind of lost its purpose. Like it's different from what it was originally supposed to be for. But I feel like the NAACP and all that, like it's good for representation for Black people, and people need to see that good representation of what Black people are doing.
Or you're kind of fading out.
Huh?
You were kind of fading out.
Oh, I said that I feel like BET is like they lost its purpose for it. Like it used to be used for like more positive things for Black people, but like the NAACP and the award shows, I feel like it's really important for like representation for Black people because our Black people need to see that Black people are doing things positive instead of doing the typical stereotypes that we have.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I it's like, why does it have to be work on our end to get equality and peace and everything like that? Like, if we ended, does she think that all of a sudden that we're going to be accepted into all the white, major white award shows and all things like that. That's not going to happen. It takes, like they have to work with us. They see that what we're doing, that we're honoring Black artists and entertainers and activists and everything, all these people, and they don't care because they would have incorporated into their shows by now. They just don't want to.
Yep, there would be no reason for Jets magazines or the or any kind of other magazine that highlights Black achievements. Black Enterprise magazine that highlights black professional achievement and entrepreneurs. So yeah, I definitely think that she's biracial, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe I guess she might be coming. I'm not sure how she was raised, but she's probably coming from a place where she's she may not have experienced a lot of racism growing up, or she may not have had like the experiences that we may have had growing up. So she's viewing it from kind of like I guess a colorblind kind of mentality. Like almost, I feel like that kind of mentality almost ignores the history that we have. Because like you said, we would honestly have very little representation if we had to rely on, the mainstream media to represent our achievements. So we created these. I mean, it's almost like the HBCU thing. We have HBCUs now, and I've heard people, actually Black people, say that HBCUs now are racist. I'm like, that's honestly ridiculous. But yeah, just for our own representation, these institutions are still important. These award ceremonies, the BET, all of that stuff is still important. We do need to see our own kind of representation, or else we'll never really see ourselves in a positive light. So
Unless we do it.
yeah, unless we have these institutions so to represent that.
I mean, yeah, it's all that, bro. I know I'm using that word a lot, but like a lot of the people that we're on this post are goofy ass Black folks, but she just like Noir said, she doesn't take into consideration the behind all this. There's a reason the NAACP exists. There's a reason BET exists, because we didn't have that representation, and even now, even with the entire Black on, even with people having more eyes, if you look at TV, it's stunningly white. You feel me? There are barely any shows or characters that have a very diverse cast. Amazingly, the show with the most diverse cast right now is The Walking Dead, and Black people die on that all the time. You
Yeah,
feel me? So
especially
Wow.
early on.
it's a see, you feel what I'm saying? So it's she really doesn't take into consideration these things for a reason.
You're blanking
We're not
out a
just gonna
bit.
get rid of the media just because the BET goes away. And NAACP, as old as it is, apparently is still needed, because like they're a political machine. They're a think tank for Black folks. You feel me? To allow work in the
Right.
community to defend black people from cases of police brutality, of civil rights violations, from discrimination cases. If that didn't exist,
We'll still be stuck in Jim Crow.
there's really nowhere to turn to. It's like there's really no way to turn to. We can go to a private law firm, sure. You feel me? But they're gonna charge you $100,000. NAACP is the only one that's gonna bring somebody out there for you for free and put it on TV. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
there's no counterpart to that within a dominant society. So when people tell us to get rid of all these things, or they ask us, oh, is it Black entertainment television, but there's no white entertainment television? I always say this. Listen, if you mad about BET, how come you're not mad about Telemundo? Why you not mad about Univision? You know what I mean? Those exist as well. And if you want a
Yep.
white entertainment television, let's Fox, ABC, NBC,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Central,
CBS.
Yeah.
All of them.
CBS. Look at their programming. It is 90% white. You know what I mean? That just is
And there's
what
no
it
reason
is.
to call it white owned because the vast majority of it is already, white people that own it. So
Exactly.
I
Is
think
this
the
even
problem is that there's the word Black in it.
yeah.
Like they have such an issue. Like we're so proud of our melanin, and we're proud of our culture and all our talents and everything like that. Like we want you to know that it is us.
That's
and
true.
they have an issue with that. They have an issue with us saying that it's black entertainment, that it's, all these magazines. Like as soon as you read the word, like
Ebony
that's black.
magazine. Yeah.
Like we're not assimilating into them like they would like us to do.
What if we?
And that's what Terry Crews and Stacey Dash wants. They
Mhm.
want us to completely assimilate and lose all of that. Just be like them.
Exactly.
What if?
And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What if there was a way? What if so? What do you think would happen if BET was named something different but had the exact same program? Let's say it was just called, I don't know, cultural entertainment television, or what's the term they call us? Urban entertainment television. You think
They
that
would.
would come off better, or they would
I
probably still
think
put
it
the
would come off better.
name?
It would come off
UET.
better because in their mind, it's
It's
words are
about
very
the
powerful.
blatant. It's like the blatant reference of a race. But
Yes,
but if you name it something different, and then it's just referring to a culture, then that would come off better, even if the actual content does not change.
yes,
Hmm.
Right, yeah, pretty much. You feel me? I've heard plenty of people tell me they said, "Hey, Black Lives Matter should have called themselves All Lives Matter and dropped the black bit." And then when I asked them why, straight up admitted black made them feel comfortable.
yes.
You feel me? So
Black
it's
makes them
really
feel uncomfortable.
just the way that made them feel uncomfortable. You feel me? It because I think when things are named after black folks, it makes them face the reality of what America was just 40 years
Inequity.
ago.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
It,
exactly.
it
It
makes
makes
them
them
it makes
face
them
the
realize and acknowledge the inequity in this country. That's what it does.
it makes them realize that, hey, even if my great grandparents came in or Switzerland back in 1920 and never participated in any of this stuff, like I still I'll step ahead of this guy who's been here for years. You feel me? So it
Yep.
it, it really makes them realize all that, and
It's
the
cognitive
human
dissonance.
mind. Exactly, cognitive dissonance. The human mind doesn't want to deal with that inconsistency of what they knew America to be and what it
Yep.
actually is. Yeah, I
Mm.
Yep.
mean that's hard for them to deal with. I think what makes Stacey Dash probably the most egregious one out of this entire list is the fact that she pushes that narrative and she used white supremacist talking points and is basically a grifter. You know what I mean? Like when Stacey Dash came up through black culture, she came
Yes,
up
she
all
did.
through black culture. You feel me? But
Hmm.
the moment that the narrative culture became profitable, she completely switched up. She came up through BET. She came up through
Hmm.
doing black movies and black TV
That's
shows
disgusting,
and
man.
repping up to the fullest. You feel me? Of black TV shows I'm growing up and supported her. Like the black community really supported her because she was an actress, so black people supported her fully. But
That's the
for the
disgusting
recent
part
years,
about it. She's spitting.
exactly.
She's like literally throwing dirt. She's literally throwing dirt on the people that help feed her. Like she's throwing dirt on those institutions, and basically the whole system, that system that we created and that we run and manage that helped like prop her up to be like a major celebrity. She's basically
Mhm.
throwing dirt on all of that and just saying, you know what, just get rid of it. Now it's considered racist, but it wasn't racist when she was taking part in it and making money and becoming famous.
Exactly.
And but which is
Exactly.
funny because she ended up getting fired by Fox recently. So
Oh, she got five.
everything came full circle.
Everything careful is exactly, man. Same ththing as Colton, but we're gonna talk about another episode. We'll talk about Diamond and Silk, aka Cole and Cotton, in another episode. But like, yeah, like exactly, like it always comes full circle. Like the moment that's what I have an issue with all these folks for,
Mhm.
especially the black folks who go on Fox and spout all this crap. Not only do they say that we from white people dozens of years, so I don't know why they thought him being black would make it different. But like they do this because it's profitable. Let's face it, they're never gonna give that stick. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like I hate people. I mean, I'm not saying I hate people. I hate when people win. I hate when people do things like that where they turn against an entire culture or they degrade an entire culture simply because it becomes profitable at that time. Like think about it. We haven't heard from Stash for how long now? Ever since she got fired from Fox News?
Couple
Who's
years, I feel like it.
who's that?
Like it feels like you
Couple
have
years.
for years I'm having you, but like I bet she's gonna be the next original BET movie or original Tyler Perry movie. couple of years from now.
I hope not.
Well, one thing I like to say is that an ingenuous and disloyal person is not going to be respected by any community, no matter who, basically who adopts you or any or whatever culture that you decide to adopt or whatever. If you're a
Mhm.
disloyal person with one culture, you're going to be a disloyal person with another culture. And the thing is, they're just going to use you. They're going to use you until you're no longer valuable, and they don't actually respect you. Because if
Right.
we can't respect you, they're not going to respect you neither. They just need you to in order to push whatever agenda they're trying to push. And that's honestly what happens to a lot of black people that get on these certain programs. They end up getting fired because they know that how disloyal they are to their own people. They just needed them temporarily to push a narrative, and then they put another face, another token black person to push a puppet narrative. So, but yeah, anything else y'all got to add on Stacey?
I just think it's hilarious that she was arrested.
Hmm.
That's it. That's all I have to say. I think it
What
was
she got
hilarious.
arrested for? Like what she was
To a
doing?
domestic
Yeah. Can I-
to a domestic call, and they carried her black ass away, not her white husband or his white daughter. But that's all I have to add.
Wow.
Hmm.
Dang.
Wow. So it was a domestic call, and she's the one that got, not her white boyfriend or the white daughter, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's black folks who are always thugs and and are uneducated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Stacey. We see you,
Hmm.
Stacey.
Yep.
Nice. Well, who's next on the list?
All right. So let's move on to Lil Wayne. So growing up, Lil Wayne was one of my favorite rappers. It was him. It was Gucci Man. It was 50 Cent. It was also yeah, it was 50 Cent and many other rappers, including Drake and whatnot. But anyways, yeah, he was definitely my favorite rapper growing up. But he has said some kind of off key things lately. Um, and like one of the major things he said is basically that everyone pretty much who follows hip hop, they know that when he was a child, he accidentally shot himself in the chest playing around with a gun when he was like 12 years old, and
Mhm.
a police officer in his community saved his life by taking him to the hospital. So because of that, he definitely feels like indebted to police officers and law enforcement, which is fine. Law enforcement, they do have a very difficult job, but with that responsibility for trying to protect and serve the community, and also having the means to um you know it means to be able to take a person's life if need be, they need to have better discernment and better discretion with how they use that responsibility and that power. um
Mhm.
and we know that Black Lives Matter has formed in order to address those issues when you know the overuse of force has been used too much, especially on black folks. So he's been sounding off on the Black Lives Matter movement, basically saying that he doesn't agree with them. He doesn't understand what they're talking about. He's saying, of course, Black Lives Matter because I'm a rich black guy in this country, and that's proof that Black Lives Matter and whatnot. So that's
Uh,
basically his thing. He's completely against the movement, um, and the
He's
whole
just an
ideology.
idiot.
Just yeah.
Brains fried from all the drugs.
Probably he's a savage.
listen, man, this is Eminem looking ass nigga. He just needs to stop. I think what Wayne is falling into sort of the same trap that Terry Crews falls into. You feel me? He's just kind of going against the grain because I think the thing is with both of them, there are certain people that are out there like that. Basically, they're contrarians. They're against
Mhm.
something just to be against it. He really
Yeah.
has no good reason to be against the whole Black Lives Matter movement because he grew up in New Orleans. He grew up in the projects. He grew up around violence and everything like that. But he also knows that New Orleans Police Department and the Louisiana State Troopers are some of the most corrupt and racist troopers in
Mm-hmm.
the United States of America. This has been studied over and over and so there's no way he's never a New Orleans police officer who was corrupt because his man grew up in he sold drugs. We know New Orleans sold drugs. So doesn't know any corrupt cops or he never ran into any racist Louisiana state trooper. We know he had. But the reason why he's doing all this is simply to be a contrarian. And I think that's been like something for him. Maybe he's been able to express himself more ever since he's not been with the Hot Boys anymore. Something
Yeah.
he's probably always been a contrarian. You know what I mean? But like that's what I always seen, because he really has no reason to be against the whole movement. He really has reason to have met with Donald Trump. He really gives no reason. You know what I mean? He just says
It's for I think it's solely for him. It's for the money, because he knows that the majority of his fans are white. And I had to explain this to one of my white male coworkers. He was like, all the music and this and a third. I said, who do you think is buying it? I said, Black people don't make up that high of a population in America for these people to be that popular and to make that much money and to sell that many tickets. I said, it's your people who are listening to it, not us. And he knows that's why he says all this slick shit like, oh, Black lives don't matter because I'm rich and I'm Black. It don't matter to me if it ain't none of my business. And
so basically he's going against the grain because he doesn't want to hurt his bottom line.
Oh yeah, and that's the only reason why he was meeting up with Trump, because of whole Biden's, this tax plan. That's the only reason why he came out to support Trump, because he wants to save every single red cent and lock that he has. He wants to save it all, and he's greedy. He's only in it for the money. He doesn't care about anybody but himself, and he's misogynistic. When they asked him about his offensive lyrics and stuff like that, his misogynistic lyrics, he was and he said, those lyrics make me money, so I'm gonna keep saying them. Like he was talking about fucking every girl in the world, and he had his daughter and her little friends up on stage dancing. So he doesn't care.
He's all about the money, basically.
It's all about the money.
All about the money. The money can make you do anything. The thing is, I would like to say about many of these people, it's something that's common to many celebrities. Once you become, I guess they've basically become kind of a slave to the money, to the point where they don't have any core values. Their core values are whatever is possible, whatever is popular, whatever is popularly unfavorable or unpopular, I guess, if that makes sense. Like whatever is against the mainstream view, they're going to go against that because that's going to create even more controversy. Basically, they have no core values or core beliefs of their own. Their beliefs are whatever is going to cause controversy or whatever is going to cause people to agree with them a lot. So basically, they may go with the mainstream
with
or
Black
counter.
people, with Black entertainers.
Yeah, that you definitely see that more often with them. They don't have core beliefs anymore. Like many of them don't. It's just whatever is going to make them the most money. That's what they're going to believe at that time.
Yeah, basically, if they go against the grain, it generates viewership.
Shoot, against the grain, with the grain. Some might go with the grain because that makes some money. Both.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't really know which celebrities actually genuinely believe in what they say they are, what they say they're believing.
Lil Wayne also has, Lil Wayne also has like pushing out like colorist views, and that whole thing with like he's saying like talking down about Black women not being exotic and tired. But 50 Cent had his own like dark skinned daughter had to tweet out like I am beautiful and exotic because her own father was basically saying that she was special because of her skin tone or race.
I actually missed most of that. 50 Cent said what?
50 Cent and Lil Wayne were on this talk show, and they were talking about how Black women are angry and that they weren't exotic, and that his own daughter was like had to tweet out about herself saying that she was exotic and beautiful because her own father was talking her down because.
Oh, okay, I hear you. Yeah, that's actually pretty bad too.
He has no soul.
Yeah.
Like he honestly doesn't care. And his white girlfriend just left him because he went and supported Trump.
That's actually not true. She actually came out and tweeted. That was actually a false rumor.
So she tweeted.
I looked it up. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious too.
I almost died, but But yeah, I looked it up, and that's it's funny, but it's not true. So it would have been funny if it
It
was
would not
actually true.
even
That would
make
have been the
sense.
funniest thing on the planet.
Yeah, that would
But
have been
no,
pretty
sadly,
damn
it's not
funny
true.
if they actually did break up.
Yeah, but yeah, that's Lil Wayne, and then we got Wendy Williams. So what do y'all think with Wendy Williams? I know Fed actually you're pretty much the expert on that. Um, so
Actually, Fed had to
yeah, to leave.
break
Oh,
out
okay.
really quickly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't even see it. I'm still sharing it. But yeah, okay. So basically, yeah. The thing about Wendy Williams, I didn't watch her show too much, but I did watch. I watched a few things, basically on her most controversial moments. I would just say that she's not particularly bad to any specific group of people. I would just say that she's just a she's just an individual who does not know how to use her filter. Like you can tell she has a major attitude. She like okay, for example, when she interviews people, she may ask them really personal questions that you shouldn't be asking a person on live TV. Like she might be asking like a group of people in a crowd. She might be like, "Hey, how many of you have gotten pregnant and did not know who the father was?" Like that's like, why would you ask a question like that to a crowd of women? Like,
She is a typical shock jock, and
Hmm.
and usually they are middle-aged white men, and I think she catches a lot of flack because she is not that at all. She's a black woman doing all these things that white men do, and people have problems with it.
I honestly don't know much about Wendy Williams except for that she runs a gossip show. You know what I mean? So like it's just one of those things where like I hear her in passing, but I really don't know what she does. A lot of people
Like,
say that she does damaging things to, or damaging things or disparaging things about black men, but I never pay attention. You know what I mean? Because it's
well,
I
like
don't think it. I don't think. Oh,
one
I
thing
don't
she
think.
did do. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are you done?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
go
I'm
ahead.
done.
All right, go ahead.
And one thing she did do was Method Man's wife had breast cancer,
Hmm.
and she came out and blasted that out on her radio. And I think like he went to the radio station for her and everything because no, a lot of people didn't know because he's a very private person. People in the family didn't even know that this woman had breast cancer, and she just blew it out there. She just blasted it. So she, like I said, she's a shock jock. And as
What's
black
that term
people,
mean?
huh?
I'm actually never heard that term before. What's
A
that mean?
shock, like Howard Stern, like they will do and say whatever on the radio. It doesn't even matter. Howard Stern has prostitutes up there, crackheads. They're doing all kinds of tricks and stupid stuff. Like he just like debases people, and folks thinks that it's hilarious. And I don't get it. I don't get it at all to degrade like how people find degrading someone funny. But that's what shock jocks are. So that's what she is. But she's just a black female. Um, but yeah, she just puts out everybody's business and everything like that. And and as black people, like I know my family, like we're not conservative, but we're very private. Um, we were taught like you don't go to work and share your personal business. You keep your professional and your personal life private. You
Mhm.
don't share certain things with everyone. So for her to come out and do this as a black woman, it's like it's scandalous. It's blasphemous for her to do that. So I think that's why people have a problem with it because that's not our typical role.
Mm. So you're saying basically she's catching more flack for doing this because that's not something you would typically expect from black women to do.
Yeah.
But it's typical for other groups of people. Okay. Um, I mean, yeah. Okay, if that is kind of messed up. I'm actually curious. How did she find out about that before the family did? Huh.
Well, rumor is that her and Method Man were sleeping together,
Oh, oh.
and I don't know if it's true. I don't know, but
Pillow
that's
talk.
just what I read. That they were having an affair,
Pillow
and
talk.
pillow talk. And it came out through Pillow Talk.
That's his fault. If that's
Yeah,
true, that's his
my
fault.
fault.
Pillow talk be getting people in trouble.
Yeah, man, that's on him. That's his
Yeah.
dumbass fault.
Because I was thinking, I'm like, how would she know? You know what I'm saying? So I kept digging, and that was the rumor. Like they was messing with each other, and he must have like let it slip, forgetting who she was, and she put it out there.
Yeah, a public person, that's the worst person to tell anyone, especially someone who makes money off of telling the business of celebrities. Why would you tell them anything private that you don't want other people to know? Like, that's the worst thing to do. So that I would say I would definitely put a large percentage of the blame on him on that. But I would say overall, I can't say she's probably the I don't know. I don't know if it's between Terry Crews or Wendy Williams. They're probably the least deplorable people of this group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would probably put Stacey Dash and Lil Wayne pretty high up on the list of the most deplorable people. It's hard for me to really say. Wendy Williams,
yeah,
she's just not a nice person. But there's a
I
lot
think
of people
she's
who
a
aren't
nice
that nice.
person. I think that's just her. She's just doing her job. She knows she's a shock
Mhm.
jock, and that's what they do.
I mean, she's still pretty rude. I noticed like when people like try to touch the mic, she's like really, really like aggressive with that. Or like one person's phone went off, she like told them to leave leave the show. I don't know. I think she doesn't seem that nice to me. The way she comes off to the crowd, she kind of treats them like
I mean,
plebeians.
she's also like always on drugs too. Like she's
Yeah.
that she was like she had like a crack. She was addicted to crack for 10 years, but then like recently with everything that was going on with her husband and his side chick, and he had a kid on her, like
Yep.
she was back into alcohol or something. So she does have substance abuse issues. So I don't know how much of that comes into play with
That
her.
makes it. Her mental stability might not be straight if you're doing all that kind of stuff. So. But
yeah,
yeah,
man.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Who do you guys say are the worst of this group? Yeah.
Yeah, man. For me, that definitely I would he's damaging. I'll go by who's the most damaging, and to me that's that's Stacy. You feel me? I her presence and put those up of talking points, and just being a grifter for the right. And Lil Wayne, everyone just listens to him for music. No one's gonna or any type of political. Everybody knows that
True.
he's just saying things just to say it for the money. Williams, just like how it's how Mika said, she's just a shock jock. Yeah, I mean, and she might be a very rude person too, but she's just a shock jock. Terry Crews, he's just goofy. You know what I mean? He's a lot. No one takes him really seriously anymore. But
Never
Stacey
did.
Dash, no one really takes her seriously. But
It's
but
Friday
Stacey
afternoon.
Dash,
Yeah.
yeah, just her grifting, her following white supremacist talking points, and her doubling down on them, and her like I just her just saying that that black people don't get anywhere because they're uneducated and thugs. That's really rubbed me the wrong way forever. Yeah, I mean, and put her as the most deplorable person in the.
Okay. All right. Any other votes?
My vote is for Lil Wayne. He is the most deplorable to me.
Mhm.
For all the reasons that we've stated. Like you said, he was raised in, was it Louisiana? So he knows, and he has seen, so many things that the police have done. And for one white person to save him after he shot himself in the chest, it's like, all white people are saviors now.
Because they
And
were doing their job.
because they were simply doing their job. He didn't even a cop who was doing their job, but all white people are saviors now, and like fuck everybody else who has, hundreds, millions of us, our ancestors and everything. Fuck all of you, because this one white cop saved me. And
Really
his message is so broad, and he reaches out to so many white youth who are like, yeah, why do they think that? And they take that in, and they're going to grow up and become adults and be politicians and think this shit about us. and about women too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget he's misogynistic
Yeah, and anti-black,
and anti-black.
anti-black
Like
women.
he's the worst.
Yeah, that's why I'm still stuck because like, okay, they both have between Stacey Dash and Lil Wayne, they both have such wide-reaching influence over millions of people. I don't know. Lil Wayne might have more of an influence because Stacey Dash got fired from Fox, so she's a clown of the black community and the white community and the white
Yeah,
conservative
nobody pays
community.
attention to her no more. Like you have to look
Yeah,
her up. You know, like he's out there. He's still make. If he drops an album next week,
Y'all
like
go
it's
fire.
absolutely sold
millions of
out.
people.
Yeah,
And
if she's like, who's gonna put her in a movie? She's never gonna act in anything. Like, what is she gonna be on? Like, she won't even be on Lifetime or some
yep,
Hallmark. She won't be on it.
she
Nobody's
destroyed her
buying
career
her.
by burning bridges with everyone.
You know, this is something that's very rare that I do, but Mika really convinced me about this. Lil Wayne has way more reach right now than Stacey Dash will
Yeah,
ever have.
he
I
probably
think
swayed some votes with
he's definitely the
supporting
most
Trump.
deplorable on this. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mika, you really convinced me of this because you did remind me that Lil Wayne has way more reach and way more influence than she has right now. So he's actually the most more damaging one on this entire
exactly.
group. He's much more damaging. So yeah.
Yeah, that
I
definitely
think
helped
I'm
sway
changing my vote
me
for Lil
Lil
Wayne.
Wayne.
I'm changing my vote for Lil Wayne, bro, for real. Yep.
Yeah, I'm with Lil Wayne too. That definitely helped me because I just remember Stacey Dash has been fired. She doesn't really have any influence anymore, any kind of clout.
Exactly.
Lil Wayne still does. He probably swayed some votes with with him supporting Donald Trump and also with his crass views on on the Black Lives Matter movement, like the point of the movement and whatnot. So
And he and he
yeah,
still has some of the worst lyrics in the world. Not only for that Bedrock song, that God, that song was terrible, but also that song, the worst bars I ever heard in my life, yo. Oh my God! But the beautiful black woman. I bet that she looked better red. That right there, I think that's rubbed me the wrong way for years, yo. That
mhm.
lyric has rubbed me the wrong way for years.
What was the
I
lyric?
think I've viewed it funny ever since he said that.
What
What
was the
was the
lyric?
lyric?
When he said, beautiful black woman, I bet that she looks better red.
Red?
Yeah,
Like a red
I
bone
remember.
chick,
I forgot what
like
song
light
that was from.
skin.
Like light skin, exactly.
Oh, okay.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Ever since he
So that's
said that, that
colorist.
rubbed me
Yep.
the wrong way. That showed me that he was colorist. Ever since then, that showed me he was a
Yeah.
colorist.
I don't like any color. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, I
What you say,
definitely.
right?
Yeah. What do you say, Riley? I definitely think he's the worst.
Yeah, I was first thinking like Stacey Dash, but like we put like the influence with it. But also like Wendy Williams, like does he mostly like talk about black people and like gas like their business only? That's what I was thinking about because that could be like more toxic and like our
Mm,
representation.
Nah, she talks about
well,
everybody.
she talks about everybody. Watching this, glancing the show, like I've seen all races of people. She talks about every celebrity, and the thing is too about her, like okay, she's presenting stuff that has already happened. She's kind of giving her opinion on it. She's not creating a toxic narrative.
Right? Yeah.
She's presenting facts, and then how you want to interpret the facts or how she wants to interpret it on her own program. That's her platform. But presenting a fact of what is actually happening is not more toxic than creating a whole toxic negative narrative that Stacey Dash and Lil Wayne are doing. Like Lil Wayne is literally creating more toxic narratives against black women by saying they will look better red. He's trying to validate colorism through his lyrics. And we all know how powerful lyrics are. So there's gonna be people
Mhm.
growing up thinking that and internalizing those views.
All right, you got me with Little Wayne then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Little
yeah,
Wayne's
man.
the
Because
winner. The most deplorable of
yeah,
round one.
All right.
yeah, round
So
one,
let
Lil
me see
Wayne
if I
is
could do
he's the most
something real
deplorable.
quick. Let's see. I'm gonna rake. Oops, sorry, that didn't work. I was gonna try to draw maybe some red. Yeah, a red X on Lil Wayne.
But he moves on to the new round though.
He does. They're all gonna have X's on them.
Because they all need to go.
You got to go, cuz. You got to go.
Yep, Lil Wayne could go. Lil Wayne could go, man.
Yep.
Out of this round, he moves on to the next deplorable.
You got one gotta go. Lil Wayne, you gotta go,
Oh, man, you
cuz.
gotta go.
Yep. All right. So let's see. Can y'all still see my screen? I actually try to close it.
No.
No, it's closed.
Yeah, it
Okay,
closed.
cool.
Let me bring it back up.
So do we have any comments from Facebook or YouTube? Anyone saying anything?
Nah,
Um,
nah, nah, not yet. Not on this episode. We didn't have any, but not next round when this when I'm pretty sure this is gonna get everywhere.
Mhm.
We'll have plenty of comments to go off of.
Okay, sounds good. I think this pretty good episode. Everyone presented a really good argument for every individual, and presented some pretty good facts on that helps actually sway me one way or another as to why certain people really aren't that bad and others are worse than they really are, or that I
Yeah.
thought they were. So, so I think this is pretty successful. I can't wait till round two. Lil Wayne, he's gonna be in the finals on round two. Let's see if I can. Actually, I'm going to share up once again, and I'm going to show you guys who round two is. Just a sneak peek. All right. This is loading real quick. Let's see. All right. So, wow, this is loading pretty slow. Yeah. Okay. So round two is going to be a really interesting round.
Yep.
As you can see, we got Black China, Brandon Tatum, then Mona Scott Young, and Sheriff David Clark. So
Ooh, this is gonna be a good
woo!
round.
this is going to be a really exciting. I almost want to talk about it now, but I know we gotta wait. We don't want this to be too long. So
Yeah, man. We'll talk about more of that next week. This is gonna be a good ass round. I love this.
yes, but all right, guys, this is a good talk. Catch you guys later.
All right, you guys have a good night.
You guys have a good night, man.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
bye.